Ready to print a book? Me too! Let's get rolling. First, you'll want to make sure your pages are print ready. They're the same size, depending on the size of the book you pick. Pages are cropped to include bleed. Center margins are clear. Text is in the safe zone. You have a few chapters ready, and it's time for a volume. In the industry, the minimum page count for holding a book and it feeling satisfying is about 150 to 200 pages. 300 pages starts getting large, and anything beyond that becomes cumbersome. I also found that about 150 to 250 pages is kind of average for a manga volume. It will, of course, depend on how long your chapters are. My chapters are about 20 pages long, and I chose to put 10 of them in my self-published books and 5 in the publisher's books. They made about 240 my self-published books and about 150 for the professionally published books. Before arranging or rearranging the pages, make sure your dot tone is printable. When you digitally tone your manga, you have 2 settings, dot tone and flat tone. In a nutshell, flat tone is used digitally and dot tone is used for printing. Flat tone doesn't print the same. For printing, dot tone looks a lot more like the leader's screen tones you're used to seeing in manga, and is cheaper to print as it will be printed black and white, whereas if you use flat tone or grayscale, it'll be printed in color. Black and grayscale, gray, still color, to be a lot more expensive. With dot screen tone, the grayscale is an illusion created by the number of dots and their arrangement across the page. Also be careful if you layer multiple screen tones. As I found when this is printed, if you don't do it right, you get a moire effect, and it can look psychedelic and be really distracting. And honestly, it's not what you're looking for. It was one of the mistakes I made when I first printed a book, and when I got it in my hand, I died inside. Then decided to simplify my toning to make the results easier to predict. Before I flatten my pages, I like to make a copy and flatten that. I have found over time that for whatever reason, you may end up needing to go back and fix something, or correct a spelling mistake, or even have a blank copy to do translations. So it's safer to keep an open copy and a flattened copy separate. And again, make sure your pages are 300 to 600 DPI. If you don't have Clip Studio, what I used to do is use Linux within my computer to have it change everything into a PDF. And if this is something you want to consider, it takes forever, but it works really well. And there are videos online of how to set this up and how to do it. For Ingram, you'll want to export your flattened cover as well. If you're working through a publisher, they may want an open file so they can add their own information, their own barcode, and adjust the spine. Thankfully, Clip Studio will let you export a Photoshop file, as they're more likely to have InDesign if they're making books. It won't export CMYK as a PDF, so you may want to try a TIFF or a PNG and then another program to convert it to PDF. Okay, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Especially the first time you do it, but it's very doable. It becomes easier with practice. And after a while, it becomes second nature, especially if you set your pages up right. It'll make your life a lot easier. If you need to know how to set your pages up right for print, check out this video where I take you through the process so your pages can be print ready right from the start.